I have heard that on one occasion, while the Blessed One was wandering on a tour among the Agutterpans with a large saga of monks, approximately 1,250 monks in all, he arrived at an Agutterpan town named Pa. Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic heard it said, Gotama the contemplative, a son of the Sakyans, gone forth from the Sakyan clan on a wandering tour among the Agutterpans with a large saga of monks, approximately 1,250 monks in all, has arrived at Pa. And of that Master Gotama this fine reputation has spread. He is indeed a blessed one, worthy and rightly self-awakened, consummate in clear knowing and conduct, well gone, an expert with regard to the cosmos, unexcelled trainer of people fit to be tamed, teacher of devas and human beings, awakened, blessed. He makes known, having realized it through direct knowledge, this world with its devas, maras, and brahmas, this generation with its contemplatives and brahmans, its rulers and common folk. He explains the Dhamma, admirable in the beginning, admirable in the middle, admirable in the end. He expounds the holy life both in its particulars and in its essence, entirely perfect, surpassingly pure. It is good to see such a worthy one.
So Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, exchanged courteous greetings with him. After an exchange of friendly greetings and courtesies, he sat to one side. As he was sitting there, the Blessed One instructed, urged, roused, and encouraged him with a talk on Dhamma. Then Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic, instructed, urged, roused, and encouraged with the Blessed One's talk on Dhamma, said to him, Master Gotama, may the Blessed One acquiesce to my meal tomorrow, together with the saga of monks.
When this was said, the Blessed One said to him, the saga of monks is large, Kiya, approximately 1,250 monks in all, and you are strongly confident in Brahmins. A second time. A third time, Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic said to the Blessed One, Master Gotama, even though the saga of monks is large, approximately 1,250 monks in all, and I am strongly confident in Brahmins, may Master Gotama acquiesce to my meal tomorrow, together with the saga of monks.
The Blessed One acquiesced with silence. Then Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic, understanding the Blessed One's acquiescence, got up from his seat and returned to his own ashram. On arrival, he addressed his friends and companions, his relatives and kinsmen. Listen to me, venerable friends and companions, relatives and kinsmen, I have invited Gotama the contemplative together with a saga of monks, approximately 1,250 monks in all, for the meal tomorrow. Give me bodily assistance for that.
As you say, Master, his friends and companions, relatives and kinsmen responded to him. Some of them dug out ovens, some split wood, some washed dishes, some set out a water pot, some arranged seats, while Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic arranged a pavilion of garlands himself.
Now on that occasion Sela the Brahman was staying at Pa. He was a master of the three Vedas with their vocabularies, liturgy, phonology, etymology, and histories. As a fifth, skilled in philology and grammar, he was fully versed in cosmology and in the marks of a great man. He was instructing young Brahmins in the Vedic mantras. Then, as he surrounded by young Brahmins was walking and wandering about to exercise his legs, he arrived at the ashram of Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic. He saw that some of the people in the ashram were digging out ovens, some were splitting wood, while Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic was arranging a pavilion of garlands himself. On seeing this, he said to Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic, could it be that Kiya the coiled-hair ascetic is giving a son or daughter in marriage, or is he setting up a great sacrifice, or is Seniya Bimbisara, the king of Magadha, invited for tomorrow together with his army?
No, Sela, it's not that I'm giving a son or daughter in marriage, nor that Seniya Bimbisara, the king of Magadha, is invited for tomorrow together with his army. But I am setting up a great sacrifice. There is Gotama the contemplative, a son of the Sakyans, gone forth from the Sakyan clan who, on a wandering tour among the Agutterpans with a large saga of monks, approximately 1,250 monks in all, has arrived at Pa. And of that Master Gotama this fine reputation has spread. He is indeed a blessed one, worthy and rightly self-awakened, consummate in clear knowing and conduct, well gone, an expert with regard to the cosmos, unexcelled trainer of people fit to be tamed, teacher of devas and human beings, awakened, blessed. He has been invited by me for the meal tomorrow, together with the saga of monks.
Did you say, awakened, Master Kiya? I said, awakened, Master Sela. Did you say, awakened, Master Kia? I said, awakened, Master Sela.
Then the thought occurred to Sela the Brahmin, even just this word is hard to come by in the world, awakened. Now, these marks of a great man have come down in our mantras. For a great man endowed with them, 2 future courses, and no other, exist. If he inhabits a home, he will become a wheel-turning king, righteous, a king through righteousness, a conqueror of the 4 quarters, a stabilizer of his countryside endowed with the 7 treasures. The 7 treasures are these: the wheel treasure, the elephant treasure, the horse treasure, the jewel treasure, the woman treasure, the householder treasure, and the advisor treasure as the 7th. He will have 1,000 sons, valiant, heroic in body, crushers of enemy armies. He will dwell, having conquered the earth to the edge of the sea, by means of Dhamma, without rod, without sword. But if he goes forth from the home life into homelessness, he will become a worthy one, rightly self-awakened, with his roof opened in the world.
Master Kia, where is he staying now, that Master Gotama, worthy and rightly self-awakened? When this was said, Kia the coiled hair ascetic lifted his right arm and said to Sela the Brahmin, there, by the dark green line of the forest. Then Sela the Brahmin, together with the young Brahmins, headed toward the Blessed One. Then he addressed the young Brahmins, come noiselessly, masters, placing a footstep in a footstep. These blessed ones are hard to approach, like a lion wandering alone. And when I engage Gotama the contemplative in council, don't break into the middle of my talk. Wait until the end of my talk.
Then Sela the Brahmin went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, exchanged courteous greetings with him. After an exchange of friendly greetings and courtesies, he sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he looked for the marks of a great man in the Blessed One's body. He saw most of the marks of a great man in the Blessed One's body, except for 2. About the 2 marks he was doubtful, uncertain, undecided, and wasn't reassured, about the male organ being in a sheath, and about the size of the tongue.
The thought occurred to the Blessed One, Sela the Brahmin sees most of my marks of a great man, except for 2. About the 2 marks he is doubtful, uncertain, undecided, and isn't reassured, about the male organ being in a sheath, and about the size of the tongue. So the Blessed One willed a willing of power such that Sela the Brahmin saw that the Blessed One's male organ was in a sheath. And then, extending his tongue, the Blessed One licked both ear holes and nostrils back and forth, and covered his whole forehead with his tongue.
The thought occurred to Sela the Brahmin, Gotama the contemplatives. Marks of a great man are complete and not incomplete. But I don't know whether he is awakened or not. Still, I have heard the aged line of teachers, along in their years, say that blessed ones, worthy and rightly self-awakened, reveal themselves when their praise is spoken. What if I were to praise Gotama the contemplative face-to-face with fitting verses? So Sela the Brahmin praised the Blessed One face-to-face with fitting verses.
Perfect your body, shining well. Well-born, lovely to look at. Blessed One, you have a golden complexion. You have white teeth, you're vigorous. The characteristics of a well-born man. The marks of a great man. Are all present in your body.
Clear your eyes, good your face. Imposing, splendid, straight upright. In the midst of a community of contemplatives. You shine like the sun.
A monk with skin resembling gold is admirable to look at. But what use is the contemplative state? For you, so superlative in appearance, you deserve to be a king, a wheel-turner, lord of charioteers, conqueror of the 4 quarters, sovereign lord of the Jambu Grove.
Noble warriors, feudal lords, and kings are your devotees. King of kings, monarch of human beings. Rule, Gotama.
The Buddha. I am a king, Sela. A Dhamma king unexcelled. I turn the wheel with Dhamma. The wheel whose turning can't be stopped.
Sela. You claim to be rightly self-awakened. A Dhamma king unexcelled. But who, master, is your general? The disciple right below the teacher. Who keeps rolling? The Dhamma wheel set rolling by you?
The Buddha. The wheel set rolling by me. The unexcelled Dhamma wheel. Sariputta keeps it rolling. Taking after the Tathagata. What should be directly known has been directly known. What should be developed, developed. What should be abandoned, abandoned. Therefore, I'm awakened, Brahman.
Subdue your doubt about me. Be decided, Brahman. It's hard often to gain sight of the rightly self-awakened. I am one whose appearance in the world is hard often to gain. Rightly self-awakened. An error remover unexcelled. Brahma become, without compare. Crusher of Mara's armies. Having overmastered all enemies.
I rejoice, with no fear. From anywhere. Sela, to his following. Observe carefully, masters. How he speaks, this one with eyes. Arrow remover, great hero. He roars like a lion in the forest. Brahma become, without compare. Crusher of Mara's armies.
Who? Even one of a dark birth. On seeing him. Would not have confidence? Whoever wants to may follow me. Whoever doesn't may go. I will here go forth. In the presence of the one. Of foremost discernment.
Sela's following. If, Master, you thus delight in the message of the rightly self-awakened one, we, too, will here go forth in the presence of the one of foremost discernment.
Sela. These 300 Brahmins request, with hands palm to palm, over the heart. We will follow the holy life. Blessed one, in your presence.
The Buddha. The holy life is well expounded. To be seen here and now, timeless. Where the going forth is not in vain. For a heedful person who trains.
Then Sela the Brahman, together with his following, obtained the going forth in the Blessed One's presence. He obtained acceptance. Then, as the night was ending, Nikàya the coiled hair ascetic, having had choice staple and non-staple foods prepared in his own ashram, announced the time to the Blessed One. It is time, Master Gotama. The meal is ready.
Then, early in the morning, the Blessed One, after adjusting his lower robe and carrying his bowl and outer robe, went together with a saga of monks to Nikàya's ashram. On arrival, he sat down on an arranged seat. Nikàya the coiled hair ascetic, with his own hand, served and satisfied the Blessed One and the saga of monks with choice staple and non-staple foods. Then, when the Blessed One had eaten and had rinsed his bowl and hands, Nikàya the coiled hair ascetic took a lower seat and sat to one side. As he was sitting there, the Blessed One expressed approval of him with these verses.
The fire oblation is the chief of sacrifices. The Saviti, the chief of Vedic hymns. A king, chief among human beings. The ocean, chief among rivers. The moon, chief of the zodiac stars. The sun, chief of things that burn. And for those who sacrifice, wishing for merit. The saga, truly, is chief.
Then, having expressed approval of Nikàya the coiled hair ascetic with these verses, the Blessed One got up from his seat and left. Then Venerable Sela, together with his following, dwelling alone, secluded, heedful, ardent, and resolute in no long time, reached and remained in the supreme goal of the holy life, for which clansmen rightly go forth from home into homelessness, knowing and realizing it for himself in the here and now. He knew, birth is ended, the holy life fulfilled, the task done. There is nothing further for the sake of this world. And so Venerable Sela, together with his following, became another one of the arahants. Then Venerable Sela, together with his following, went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, arranging his upper robe over one shoulder and extending his hands palm to palm over the heart toward the Blessed One, addressed him in verse.
This is the 8th day since coming for refuge. One with eyes. Blessed One. For 7 nights. We have tamed ourselves. With your message. You, awakened. You, teacher. You, sage who has conquered Mara. You, having cut obsessions. Having crossed over. Bring this generation across.
Your acquisitions transcended. Your effluence torn apart. You are a lion. Free of clinging. Your fear and terror abandoned. These 300 monks stand with hands palm to palm. Over the heart. Extend your feet, hero. The Nagas venerate them. The feet of the teacher.
Sala Sutta, the arrow. Translated from the Pali by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. Without sign. Unknown. The life here of mortals. Difficult. Short. Tied up with pain. For there's no way by which those who are born will not die. Beings are subject to death, even when they attain old age.
Like ripe fruits. Whose downfall, whose danger is falling. So for mortals, once born, the constant danger is death. As a potter's clay vessels, large and small, fired and unfired, all end up broken. So too life heads to death.
Young and old, wise and foolish, rich and poor, all come under the sway of death. All have death as their end. For those overcome by death, gone to the other world, father cannot shelter son, nor relatives a relative.
See, even while relatives are looking on, wailing heavily, mortals are one by one led away, like cows to the slaughter. In this way is the world afflicted with aging and death. And so the enlightened don't grieve, knowing the way of the world. You don't know the path of his coming or going, seeing neither end. You lament in vain.
If, by lamenting, confused, harming yourself, any use could be gained, the prudent would do it as well, but not by weeping and grief. Do you gain peace of awareness? Pain arises all the more. Your body is harmed. You grow thin, pale, harming yourself by yourself.
Not in that way. Are the dead protected? Lamentations in vain. Not abandoning grief, a person suffers all the more pain, bewailing one whose time is done. You fall under the sway of grief.
Look at others. Going along. People arriving. In line with their actions. Falling under the sway of death. Being simply shivering here.
For however they imagine it, it always turns out other than that. That's the type of their separation. See the way of the world.
Even if a person lives a century or more, he's parted from his community of relatives. He abandons his life right here. So, having heard the arahant subduing lamentation, seeing the dead one whose time is done, think, I can't fetch him back.
Just as one would put out a burning refuge with water, so does the enlightened one, discerning, skillful, and wise, blow away any arisen grief. Like the wind, a bit of cotton fluff. Seeking your own happiness, you should pull out your own arrow, your own lamentation, longing, and sorrow.
With arrow pulled out. Independent. Attaining peace of awareness. All grief transcended. Griefless you are. Unbound.